Good afternoon everybody, ladies and gentlemen on YouTube. Hopefully I'm going to try and do a few videos today while I've got a little bit of sunshine and most importantly a little bit of time. First thing I would like to show you all and give my view on, which is something I must give credit to somebody else. Mark, it's Bushman 01100. He did a review of this and he got it from Military Mart, which I think most people in the UK know about, an excellent surplus shop. Okay, some specifications first. It doesn't come like this, but I'll explain about that later on. Is a collapsible folding saw. Okay, like that. It's 18 inches long. Okay, it doesn't come with the sheath. I made that. But some specifications. I had trouble sort of weighing it because it's 9.3 ounces, and that's on my wife's kitchen scales. I think that's quite hard for me to picture in my mind like everybody else, but then I weighed an empty porcelain mug, one we would use for coffee, and it weighs about roughly the same as that. I'll talk about that in a second. I made a Cordura sheath for it, okay, Velcro closing. On the inside there it has got a separate sheath that goes all the way down for when I have a spare blade. I will carry a spare blade in there. Okay, it's to protect it. On the back I've got various ways where it will be attached to the side of a Bergen, or it can be stored along the Bergen horizontally. You know where you pull the straps down, it will slip into there. There are some webbing straps I've sewn on that can either be paracorded on or just simply you strap, you know, your Fastex clips through. Something I do, similar to the Molly system, I was doing it years ago when I was in the army. There's a belt loop there, so if necessary I went out, cut me wood, rather than having one hand or trying to hold this thing underneath my shoulder. It's got a belt loop on it, and you don't have to take your belt on and off with this system. I'll go into more detail about it later on, but literally it's two pieces of Velcro, and you can actually put it onto your belt without even taking it off. Okay, I'm not saying I'd have it like that all the time. But now I've got two hands free to carry any wood that I've gone back. It will always go to one side or the other. And again, Mark or Bushman 01100. If you want one of them, mate, I'll give you a PM and I'll make you one just as a thanks for putting me onto this, because this is something I've wanted for a little while but never quite saw the right one. I know Funky Prepper's got a nice one, and I think it's Scott from Wessex Blades. But here we have it here. Now this weighs less than an empty mug of coffee. It's reasonably easy to get it together. I haven't had much practice on this, I must say. One thing you've got to be careful of is you don't lose that. Everything's stored inside itself, including the blade and the locking arm. Now, the more times you put this together, the more experienced you're going to be at doing it. All I do is just give it a couple of screws, then I then turn it over. Two little slots for the blade there, corresponding nodules that stop it from falling back out, and do the whole thing up. And it pulls it all tight. So there we have one collapsible saw, which I think is a brilliant bit of kit. As I say, it's very easy to carry. It's not going to take up a lot of room, and moreover it doesn't weigh a lot. Now I'm going to try and cut this piece of wood. I've tried to do one before. It's very green wood, so it's very hard going, but let's give it a go. I suppose it would be easier with 2 people, but with me, everything's got to go in the pack, and if you've got somebody else with you, all to the good, but if not, everything I have with me, I will have to be able to use and operate on my own. And it's got a lovely sawing action. Apart from the blade may get trapped as it did last time, I like to give it a bit of a tap. It is actually going through that like a hot knife through butter. And again, that's no real effort at all. No way I could do that with a Laplander. Okay, this would be something I would use for gathering decent firewood that I'm going to later on batten down, or actually building a more permanent shelter. But it cost me £15. It's from Military Mart. It weighs less than a cup of coffee is the easiest way to describe it. I think it worked out to be sort of 9 ounces, and I think that's a spanking little bit of kit. I would recommend that to everybody. What I will do is get a spare blade for it. I always carry a spare blade, and like I say, so this thing is designed, once you get it on there, it ain't just going to be falling off. It doesn't look too secure. Like, if you imagine your belt goes through there, then you put that one up, and then you put that one across, and literally you've got a belt loop there. Because inside there's another sheath. You can't really see it, I suppose, take my word for it. There's a sheath all the way down where you can put spare blades. I may even carry a metal hacksaw blade down there as well, so if I need to, there may become a time where I need to be getting into things and cutting padlocks off, so forth. Not a bad idea to have something that will cut metal with on you as well. But to round it off then, we've only got 9 minutes, I'll just take this apart. And the easiest way I find it is on your lap. Under your screws, you'll find one actually undoes and the other one stays permanent. So I have the saw out. For getting the saw blade, it does rattle a little bit. I'm going to rig up something like that, a little bit of small foam padding. I don't like things rattling about. It's not too over the top, and literally you screw that back in. I don't like that rattle. That is the only non-positive thing that I can say about this. £15, weighs less than a pound, and able to process wood such as that, and a lot bigger. The only actual length of the wood will be determined obviously by that first bar. I've got an idea I might move that bar up a little bit, but you know, you can modify things too fast. Things at times, if it's very, very simple, it will probably work in the most adverse conditions. So ladies and gentlemen, a quick shout out to Mark of Bushman011100. Cheers mate, because that's exactly what I was looking for, and it was your video that put me onto that, mate. So like I say, if you want one of these sheaves, you think you can make use of it, you was talking about carrying it on the outside of your Bergen, then give us a PM mate, and I'll soon get one. I'll soon make one of them and get it off to you. But absolutely fantastic little bit of kit, very, very impressed. I shall be giving that a lot of use. Okay ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.